Hi guys.
Hi. Ankalaev spoke a lot about how he is willing to stand up the whole fight against Pereira. Does it excite you to test his stand-up fight?
It's a mixed martial arts fight, you know, and I had a very good camp, and we prepared for every scenario, you know, striking, wrestling, or grappling. So we will see where the fight gonna go, you know. Maybe he gonna shoot for a takedown against me. Maybe he want just to prove his stand-up against Alex Pereira. You know, you never know. So I don't even pay attention on it, what he said against Pereira. The most important thing is Saturday night, how he gonna fight against me. And yeah, I know that I did my homework, and I'm ready for everything what he brings to the table. Striking, wrestling, or grappling.
Alex, right here. You know, Ankalaev, he's tweeted a lot since his last fight, but one of the things he's been saying is he thinks you're the toughest opponent, like even compared to Alex. Do you think like he's building the fight with you? Does he believe that? And I guess what do you bring to the table that I guess would make you the toughest?
I really didn't pay attention on the social media and the tweets what he did the last months or the last weeks. Of course I saw them, but I didn't really pay attention. My 100% focus was on training, focusing on myself, not on him, and to get the best out of me in the camp. And this is what I had. And if he says that, it's good. But if he didn't say it, it's also good, you know? So it's okay for me.
And I think this is your first time since 2019. You've had 2 fights in the same calendar year. So I guess how is camp been knowing that you can, you know, you're healthy and you can continue fighting more than once a year now?
Finally, you know, I was dealing with some injuries, and but I think I don't think. I know that consistency is the key to get the victories and get that victory on Saturday. And yeah, 4 or 5 months I fought, and now again, and I want to stay active. You know, I'm healthy. I have no injuries, and I hope after the fight also no injuries, you know, and to finish the fight and to relax a little bit after the fight with my family, and then get back to work and work my way up to the title.
Many fans thought maybe Ankalaev would get the title shot, and then when he was matched up with you, Alex said that maybe the UFC thinks you're too boring in terms of Ankalaev might be too boring. Do you think he gets kind of a bad reputation for being boring when you watch him?
I really don't know what went back and forward with Magomed and his manager and the UFC. There's only the UFC knows why they decide Khalil to fight against Pereira. But what makes me really happy is that the UFC gave me Ankalaev, and I honestly believe that if I didn't put a good fight on UFC 300, doesn't matter the result, I would never get that fight, you know. And when I got the fight against Ankalaev, the name, I immediately say yes, because he's number 2 ranked, and behind Jiri Prochazka, who lost twice against Pereira. So this is the best matchup for me, and stylistically, it's going to be a better matchup for me than Jiri Prochazka.
Well, going off of that, like Chael Sonnen said that he thinks fans forgot how good you were, and a lot of people are saying, you know, if Ankalaev wins, he's going to fight for the title and everything. Do you think they're not realizing that if you win, you could also get the next title shot as well? Are you viewing this as an actual #1 contender fight?
It's time to remember the fans and the people in the UFC who the Rocket is, you know, back in the days. So I'm ready to crash the party on Saturday and to mix things up.
And just last one for me, unrelated to your fight. Can I get your thoughts on the main event between Ilya and Max?
I like both. I mean, this is the 3rd time fighting with Max on the same card. I know him better than Ilya, but I really it can go back and forward, you know. There are some stats like Max never been knocked out, and Jiri has a very good boxing. Of course, he's a mixed martial artist, so I really cannot answer this question. I'm very excited by myself.
Hey Alex, so after watching this last fights, like controversial decisions from the judges, do you feel you have the pressure to finish the fight, to finish Ankalaev?
I have no pressure at all. You know, I am ranked number 5. He's ranked number 2. Yes, probably gonna be this fight is gonna be number 1 contender fight, but we never know what the UFC decides. I am in Abu Dhabi. I'm like kind of like in enemy territory, you know. It's territory of Magomed Ankalaev, and he need to have pressure, not me. And I go in and being ice cold and see my chances where I can finish the fight if I can. If not, my mentality and my plan for this fight is just to go in and to dominate from second one to the end of the fight.
And if you were to finish the fight, if you don't leave it in the judges' hands, and that immediately puts you in the title picture. And as a striker, how do you see? Did you watch the round 3's performance against Alex? And how do you see any holes in Alex's game where you can explode?
I said it yesterday in an interview that everybody on this world and in the division has holes. Doesn't matter if it's Alex Pereira or John Jones or somewhere, everybody has holes, and this is the beauty of the sport, of the MMA sport. You have always room to improve. So it's up to you if you use the holes against you or to use it for you. And the fight against Khalil and Pereira was amazing. It was a brutal stand-up battle. But come on, this is an MMA fight, you know, and probably maybe if Khalil mixed things up, he would have better chances. You never know. I don't know the level of Khalil's wrestling and grappling, but for the fans and for the UFC, it was a great fight, and yeah, great victory by the champ.
That was a Sport Plus from Turkey. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Alexander, right here.
Yeah.
Some fans say that Ankalaev is a #1 contender. Do you think victory over him is more valuable, considering that he's #1 and like most likely he could be a champion at some point?
Yeah, I mean, he's a hard matchup, like all the fights in the UFC. We are all good fighters, good athletes. You know, we would not be here in the UFC if we are not. So it's all about the details, and yeah, I'm here in that area. You know, I want to fight the best, and I want to beat them. You know, because I don't want to regret any things when I'm getting older and retired to not fighting the best. So fighting Ankalaev is one step ahead for my dream to become a UFC champion and to fight Alex Pereira. And this could be possible on Saturday night after a great performance.
But do you agree with the opinion that beating Ankalaev is pretty much like beating a champion?
No, you have Alex Pereira. He's a hell of a champion. He is very good at it, and he is active. You know, he did 3 fights this year. I mean, and he finished all 3 of them. So you are not the champion only by your record or by your name or where you came from. You're a champion what you put into the octagon, you know, and the people loves him. In Pereira, and the UFC loved him, and he do a great job. So this is all about the champion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.